very good morning to you. You are watching Y in the Morning, my favorite day of the week, which is Monday, when we discuss politics. And it's Poly Cinema as usual, all the drama that happens in Parliament and with our leaders. I'm here to make sure that we know what's happening. I'm Hilda Wadidi, and in studio today I am joined by one Rob Chacha from Amnesty International. He's a lawyer. Salimia Watu.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rob Chacha. I'm happy to be here. Thank you, Hilda.
All right. So we'd like to discuss a few issues that have cropped up in the state of affairs. However, let's just break the ice a bit in terms of the end of the World Cup. And Valentine was just here discussing the lessons that people learned from World Cup. Let me ask you, Robbie, what lessons did you learn from the World Cup?
Well, since I was supporting Croatia, I think there's a spirit of fighting over and over again, because I mean Croatia hasn't been at that level for quite a while, or even forever. So I mean, for me, the lesson I'm taking is persevere, be strong, and work hard at it.
All right, okay. Me, I personally, I never followed up that much, so I wouldn't know what lessons I would have learned, but I'll borrow from the rest of you and the Man Crush Monday group. Anyway, let's move on to what's happening in terms of our society. However, we have a bit of drama, as usual. We also have a looming scandal, what Kenyans are calling the looming scandal. Now, since this is youth and politics, we'd like to address issues that affect the youth. If you do want to participate in the conversation, do slide into our DM. Start with YM254. The number is 22162. On Twitter, we're at Y254 channel, hashtag Y in the morning. And on Facebook, we're at Y254. Anyway, the president recently did a minor reshufflement of the cabinet, and we've seen Adan Mohamed being retained, but being switched over with Munya for the EAC position, and now Munya is in charge of the trade. Why do you think that instead of Kenyatta replacing them, he just tends to swap them?
Well, I think first of all, constitutionally, the president has the power and the ability to reshuffle, according to Article 152 of the Constitution. So he has the ability to reshuffle cabinet as and when he pleases. But then, in terms of why he would have done that, I mean, it's neither here nor there, because there are serious questions as to their capacity and ability to perform in the various tasks. So trying to shift them would be, in one way, trying to hide a lot of things. As you might know, just recently there was a China scandal, and Adan Mohamed was a bit sort of very deep in that scandal, and therefore trying to reshuffle it would mean that he's also trying to hide a lot of, burying the hatchet, if I may call it. Also,
you also think that he's trying to sweep things under the rug, so that he's just keeping his house the way it is, just
I mean, in terms of as a Kenyan, anyone else would have done the same. If I were in his shoes, it would be easier to bury the hatchet, because if you look at the cabinet as it stands now, there's a bit of trying to pay off different tribes and different constituencies and whatnot. So as a president, he has to value the aspect of performing in terms of your task, but even in that sense, he also has to value the essence of trying to balance the various regions and whatnot.
Okay, there are some Kenyans who are of the opinion that that he did that because Adan had never been involved in any other scandal previously, so he didn't deserve to be kicked out of cabinet. So they're saying that he just retained him because he had a clean track record before, and this is just a scandal that has come up recently, and so he tends to swap people. However, Kenyans are also asking, you know, like, why not get new people? And then we have one Ben Chumo, who is who has been mentioned in this saga to do with Kenya Power and the 4.5 billion faulty missing money and faulty transformers, who had also been appointed by the same president for the chairperson of the Salaries and Remuneration Commission. What's your opinion on that? Why does he tend to just move the same people all over the place? As a young person, is it that there are no young people that can do these jobs, or what do you think?
Well, I mean, from where I stand, I don't know in what context the president decided to appoint him. But if I were to speak honestly, I think these are just, he's trying to pay off things that happened in the past. Look at Ben Chumo's tenure in Kenya Power. It would tell you a lot about, for example, when Ben Chumo was in Kenya Power, the tender for supplying electricity poles sort of shifted to the deputy president, and this is a fact. It's out there. So it shifted to the deputy president. So this may not actually be the president, but probably the deputy president trying to pay off past debts and issues that have happened before. But then constitutionally, the integrity aspect of the constitution is to call into question, because the same, almost just about 8 hours after he's appointed as ambassador, the DPP calls out for his arrest, and it calls serious question as to whether the State House or the presidency is able to investigate and find out and do background checks on people that he appoints as cabinet secretaries and whatnot, and even ambassadorial positions, which is also done.
Okay, yes, let's talk about the ambassadorial positions. As a human rights lawyer, do you feel that these positions should be given out as rewards, like what we are seeing happening? People are being rewarded for supporting or what have you, or doing some other work for the president, and there it is, there you give it. Is there any criteria for you to become an ambassador, or you can just be awarded? Like even me seated where I am, Mr. President, you know, I'd like to be the ambassador to Canada, you know, doing some good work for the youth. So what's your ideology on this rewarding with positions?
Now, my ideology, I think the reward scheme is something that has happened from Moi's time, but it's something that needs to stop, because there's so many people who are out here who are competent and are qualified to have these positions. But then, because you're trying to reward political affiliations and political friends, you sort of run down the institution that is supposed to be the consulate and the ambassadors. So in my view, I think the president needs to look into who he's appointing as ambassadors, because most of the people he's appointed, even before, not just the appointments he's done the other day, are people who their integrity and even their capacity to hold those positions can be called into question. Look at China and the scandals that we've had in China. Russia, where the World Cup just happened, has an issue in the Kenyan consulate, because most of the issues that happened